Hello everyone and welcome back to the D20 campaign Firebird. There are these nasty 4-foot tall insect things and they have sort of chased the expeditionary force away from a supply of possible food, possible poison, they're not sure yet, and also started ripping apart the ship and carrying bits of it back to their little cave. The crew has started talking about, igniting one of the oxygen supplies to blow them up. Which is an interesting choice of things to do. And other members of the crew are going, yeah, no, that's a bad idea. So what would people like to do today?
I'd like to ensure that he doesn't kill everything or anything. Just nothing is dying today. There's no
I don't
need
really
to kill
care
anything.
what he does because I just want to go on my own and continue what I want to do together.
I just don't want them to associate us with him because we look roughly the same. We're all wearing the same suits. We don't know how intelligent they are. I don't want them to see him.
See, my thought line is by the time he does it, we could be out of here.
But there could be how many of them?
On the planet, I don't know, but we know where they're designated to.
Yo, Kurt, how many
where
of those
one area
on
is
the
designated
trail?
to?
How many what?
How many of those did you see on the trail?
We saw 6.
How far were you away from here?
Not far, but my assumption is because that cave seems to be a place where they want to go, that just makes sense to me why they're in a perimeter nearby that. So, like, this is kind of their area. We just happen to crash into it. What's the odds they infest the whole planet? Even if they do, we still have to move eventually.
Of course, but where do you suggest we go?
I think that our only escape off this planet is by finding a ship that will get us off, and of course not everyone's going to make it, so we should start scavenging around towards where we saw other places drop other pieces of the ship and hope to God we come across something that will get us to go somewhere. Now we could just try to bunk up and hold out, but to me that seems like the wrong idea.
See, my thought is there's so much of the ship here left that we haven't gone through. There could be like a little black box sort of thing that has radar, I want to search everything here. I want to find everything we can, use everything to its advantage, and then head out.
So while Eric is saying that, I'm just like, yeah, I've got a radar.
Hey, you have a radar.
It's in my parachute.
Technically, you haven't got a radar. Technically, you've got a comm array, and Kurt has a nav beacon array that he managed to salvage from the ship.
Yeah, what does that do exactly?
The nav beacon array is basically, think of it like not quite passive radar. It's a bit more like a kind of communications radar in that it will pick up signals from friend or foe identifier.
See, this is more reason why we should leave.
Okay.
Because we can find other people if there's anyone else that have survived.
Well, I know, like, waves and signals and stuff. Let's grab some stuff from the ship, what we can. Use our nice foil parachute to make the bottom of a boat or a raft. And take off down the river and see what pings closest.
Okay.
I'd be careful, though. Those shell monsters don't exactly look very passive.
Yeah, I wanted one of their backs as a boat.
Maybe they can't swim.
We'll soon find out.
I like your idea now more than I liked your idea before.
Oh, but blowing them up would have been so much fun.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Exterminate them with science!
Alright, so I'm with you. If you want to leave, I'm with anyone that wants to at least head out.
I make note of a new idea for a novel. Ragtag team of idiots.
Idiot scientists?
Try to... how you spell annihilate?
ANNIH.
ANNIH.
Not much of an author, are you, if you can't spell annihilate?
E.
Race. Hold on. I can't even. Annihilate a race of shell monsters. There. Perfect.
Okay. He's actually keeping a record of all
I,
ideas.
I love Vagabond's character notes. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Vagabond was playing an illiterate character, and he decided to draw all of his character notes rather than write them because his character couldn't write. So he drew pictures.
Vagabond's
4
a
crowns
hero.
rob bank.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so
The
Kurt and
backseat.
Percival are discussing the potential of making a boat and heading down river. Eric and Damien are still sort of thinking about setting up a sort of colony here or setting up a kind of central base here. People still haven't bothered using any of the technology available to them or searching the ship for anything else, but fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I will continue. I'll go
I'm
through
gonna
search of
use
the
my
ship.
technology. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna search a ship, use what I can there. Then I'm just gonna leave. And
To me,
follow
the ship
them.
has nothing
we're
else to
too
offer.
close.
Or it's too
I will-
dangerous, in my opinion, to search anymore.
I'm gonna raid the ship one more time, look for anything I can use. So I know how to use.
Reflex and search, please. Meanwhile, Kurt, do you want to use your nav beacon? Throw me a computer use check, please.
Okay.
Reflex. So...
Wow, that did not roll. I'm sorry. Can we re-roll that?
Plus, you got like
Yeah,
the
that's
giant green D20 as
Okay.
well. If you
you
need
go.
help with it. 18.
18.
Nice.
And what's the other one you want me to check? Computer use?
That's computer use.
Uh,
That's for you a +3, so that makes
yeah.
21.
All right, reflex 11, search. I guess that's 8 plus, so 21.
Okay, so you take another 2 damage. So Eric climbs into the ship and again manages to scrape his other shoulder. So he's now got wounds on both shoulders, matching wounds on both shoulders, from where he scraped himself against jagged bits of ship. He searches through the ship. He finds few sort of bits of food supply. He manages to find one of the sort of tech bays, one of the tech storage areas. Finds a couple of bits of tech, including a long-range discharge rifle, which is basically a kind of calibrated hunting rifle. And that's kind of like most of what he finds. He finds a few schematics and a few sort of batteries and bits of computing devices, but nothing he can really carry out successfully.
All right, and how much ammo for the rifle?
You find 2 clips of 10, or 2 magazines of 10.
That's not bad.
Okay.
So, having injured himself yet again, he comes out. Meanwhile, Kurt has set up his nav beacon. It's again a tube roughly the size of a telescope. You deploy the little legs. You set it up roughly about head height. You open the array, which is a bit like folding out a projector screen device. It's a semi-curved, partially sort of coiled piece of metal that just sort of pulls out into a curved semi-dish, horizontal dish, and it slowly rotates for a few minutes. Kurt sort of fiddles with the computing devices attached to it, and there are 3 signals being picked up by it, three transmissions being picked up by it. It's not got the technology inside it to read the transmissions in detail, but there's a transmission out towards the ocean. There's a transmission coming from the southwest past Percival's crashed escape pod back into the forest, and there is another one, another signal that seems to be coming from southeast, kind of along the edge of the forest and the plains where the 2 meet each other.
All right. Which way do you think we should go?
I really want to build a boat, so let's go for the ocean.
That sounds fine to me. Do I know he's injured? His shoulders.
He's bleeding. Yes.
Can I heal? Can I use any resources to bandage him? I have really high treat injury skills.
You can go and offer him first aid.
I'm fine. It's a scrape. It's whatever. Nothing serious.
I have 12 treat injury. I could heal you.
I'm fine. Save it for when you need it. I have a basic first aid kit. I'm fine. It's all
I
good.
look at him in disgust and leave.
Just love
Okay.
just the look of just like
Yeah.
I'm fine. It's whatever. It's a scrape. I'm
Yeah,
chill.
it's gonna infect you. Your shoulder's gonna fall off.
I mean,
Like
That
rough and
could
ready
be okay.
survival guy is just like, yeah, you're screwed. You're an idiot. Shut up. Let me treat you.
Oh, I love this. This is working really well.
All right, well then let's just go. He doesn't want my help.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
I'm following you guys. I'm just waiting for.
Oh, you're coming.
I'm waiting for Damien. I'm following, but I'm keeping you in sight, but I'm not like following right behind you
Okay.
guys.
So-
Well, I unfurl the parachute and start laying out bits that would make a frame to be functioning as a raft.
Okay, so
Should we not
Craft
do that when we
struct-
get to the ocean?
No,
Yeah,
I want to
you
make
are
a
like-
boat.
okay,
Let's carry a boat.
craft structural.
Oh, come on! Our boat's gonna sink.
So
I got a
you
4.
you set up a framework and you kind of tack it together. You don't have many tools, so you're just kind of like tacking it together as best
Plus,
you
my
can.
specialty is magnets, not like freaking boat making.
Yeah, you create a thing that kind of looks like a boat. When you pick it up, it jiggles a bit, and it's kind of light for a boat, but it looks
that
like a boat.
does not look safe.
Do you
Well, I
want
don't
me to
see your boat.
rebuild that?
And I keep
Would you
walking
like me
towards
to
the
rebuild
river.
that for you? Would you like me to build that for you?
Set it up, droid. But
No, don't want you to build my boat.
all right.
But
so I'm
I
gonna
don't want to
attempt
die when I get in the boat.
What materials did
coming,
he use
then?
again?
Well, then build your own boat.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I don't have the materials because you're the selfish knob who only you use the only one instead of getting somebody who knows. You want to kill us all, then I'm walking away. You're gonna drown. You're gonna
I'm gonna
drown.
look. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk up to the river and examine it. Well, the river and is that his boat?
That-
Pretty much, yep.
Okay. Everyone
That's
get in.
fantastic.
I am not getting in that.
I'm not getting in his
Island
boat.
boat if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I'm not getting in it.
All right, I'm gonna look around, examine the surroundings of the river. How fast is the river going? Stuff like that.
It's the river. I take it leads to the ocean then, like
Yeah.
most rivers do. Okay.
It leads
Double
down across the
checking.
plains to the ocean.
All right. So maybe you forget getting in the water. We just trail alongside the.
Of course.
Yeah.
Screw
Why
you
didn't you guys
guys, I
think
made a
this before?
freaking boat.
Well, I wanted to make a boat later, but someone wanted to make a boat now.
Well, now we're at the river, and it'll take us right to the thing.
You can
Plus,
get
I
in the
got-
boat.
For sake, go ahead, get in the boat. Get in the damn boat.
So
yourself.
I'm gonna place my boat that I have utmost trust in into the river
Yep.
with 1 foot on it and 1 foot on the shore. I'm gonna start slowly putting pressure on the boat as I try to step into it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna walk over and push him into it.
Roll a touch attack.
What is my touch armor class? Touch class is 15. got a
19
19.
plus 3. Or yeah, so
He pushed me
So-
into my boat.
yep.
Percival is standing on the shore of this reasonably shallow but moderately fast-flowing river. He's planted
You're
his wibbly foil thing into the water. It's already started to distend and disshape slightly. And he kind of puts his foot in it, and he's kind of like tentatively kind of like pressing his foot down and staring at the boat. Meanwhile, Eric walks up behind him, just puts his hand on the guy's shoulder and just shoves him. And Percival goes sailing over the edge. The boat just collapses in on him as he steps into the water. Luckily, the water's only about shoulder deep, and literally the boat kind of folds up around him as he collapses into the water. He's nice and dry. He's nice and dry inside the parachute, and he's kind of like been vacuum packed by the pressure of the water inside the parachute.
Oh, I hate
He's
you.
like,
I'm gonna die.
I'm too old for this.
That was great.
So I hop myself out of the middle of the river with my boat snuggie around me. And I just kind of drop it on the ground. It's like, fine, you make the frickin' boat.
Okay, I will. Are there any sticks around the area?
You could take sort of like 20 minutes to head back to the ship and get some bits and pieces to
I'll
build with.
I'll take 20 and go scavenge supplies.
Okay, so
Surprise!
do a craft structural for me.
If I get a 1, I'm gonna fill my laptop.
8.
8 plus 14.
Oh.
Okay, so you've got something more along the lines of like a slightly bigger version of this thing here. Let me just grab this image. See, like I'm doing Google searches for fucking foil boats now. For fuck's sake.
I love derailing your stuff.
You've got
I have a
something
slightly
like
bigger version. Okay.
slightly bigger sort of version of kind of like you've got inside bracing. It's reasonably shaped. Like theoretically, it's got a floor, which is something Toad slightly forgot when he was building his boat. Like that they need floors.
I would like to see how much do I weigh. I'm roughly what, 1. Where's my weight?
You're roughly 140 pounds.
1. Okay, with equipment probably 160. Okay, I will step into it and brace myself on the shore.
Okay, so it takes your weight reasonably well. So you are floating now in the middle of the river, kind of holding onto the shore, leaning over the edge of the boat.
Okay.
I start bringing the
let's go.
equipment over.
No, wait, we don't know how much weight this can hold. It might be good for carrying equipment,
How do you
but
plan
not
on
us.
moving the boat? You're just gonna
Just-
like let it
I know,
float
just-
around.
Just wait. It's just let's put one more person in here and see how much
Okay,
weight.
you'd
it
rather
holds. Someone
put,
who's
you
roughly-
know, like a person instead of like a small radio? Because you're an imbecile?
I'd rather put in a whole bunch of equipment that we can travel a long ways with that we won't have to carry because it's in the water.
We could. So you want to use it as like a storage? Like-
Use it as
cargo.
transport so that we
Yeah.
don't have
yeah,
to
I
carry
like that
things.
idea.
Oh, that's
Because
lame.
there's not going to be enough room for all of us to fit, so
no,
we might as well
some
use
of
it
us
as
gonna have to walk
storage.
anyway.
So
yeah, I like
let's
that
see
idea.
how much weight it can carry.
Yeah,
Damien, climb in with me. No homo.
No homo.
How much do I weigh again?
You're quite a big guy, like 170 roughly, maybe 200
So
with equipment.
we have 350 pounds here roughly.
All right, which way is downstream, left or right?
To the right.
All right, so I look down to the right, and I see if I can if there's an alternative to being in a boat that could possibly collapse.
I'm holding onto the shore. There's no way we're gonna. Even if anything, we're just gonna fall in at max. We're gonna get a little bit wet.
Someone roll an intellect check for me.
All right,
I will do so as well.
is that an intelligence check or an intellect check?
Intelligence. The same thing.
Same.
2
So
plus 1, so
I-
3.
7 plus 3 for me.
10. Okay, so both of you think it might be a good idea for someone else to get in the boat.
Yeah, let's get one of the lighter people.
don't look at me.
Someone roughly my weight.
Why not a random guy back at the
Yeah,
build
let's go find.
constructing settlement? Or
Do
not
that.
settlement.
I don't want them to know about our plan.
So we're
Fair
just kind of taking off and leaving everybody else to
Yeah,
fend for themselves.
They're really just gonna get in the way, really.
That's it. No, honestly, it's true. Let's not.
To be honest, like it fits his character. His character is used to working in a group of like 3 or 4 people when he's been
Mhm.
doing frontiering. Like he's not used to working in a group of hundreds of people.
Okay.
I'll follow his lead though.
I will
um,
step into the boat.
I don't know how
Alright.
much I weigh, so
Okay,
We have
so
net on that, but yeah.
the boat takes on a little bit of water as Nets sort of steps into the boat.
First of all-
roll a reflex save for me, please, Percival. Sorry,
You killed Nets. Remember that.
I did. No, you killed Nets. It was your fucking
You
dice.
killed nets.
Yay! And what's my reflex? My reflex is probably not enough to save my ass. Plus 3. I got a 6.
Okay. So Nets steps into the boat. Sorry, Percival steps into. God damn it! I've had months of calling you Nets. Percival steps into the boat, and the boat starts to take on water and tips to one side slightly, and Percival continues over the top of the boat and ends up back in the river again.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
Percival puts one foot in the boat on the where it is on the edge of the shore, and as he steps into the boat shifts. It starts to take on a little bit of water, and because the boat's shifting and he's standing upright on one leg in the boat at that particular point, he just carries on straight over the top and out the other side of the boat, with a nice loud spladoosh as he lands back in the water.
Ooh.
Sorry.
What the heck?
I
What the
get
heck,
out
Chuck?
trying to brush the water off myself because that's an effective measure.
You suck with boats, don't
And
you?
I just start shaking my head. It's like, this has nothing to do with magnets. What the hell am I doing here? Where are my magnets?
Okay, let's go get some supplies from. We know it can carry at least 250 pounds. Safe guess at least 250. If we space it out properly, it can carry probably a solid 300 plus.
Yep, that's
Let's
fine.
go get supplies, get what we want ready, and let's get some ropes, whatever we can. Tie some dead people's clothes together. I don't care. I'm not losing this thing. We'll tie it to the boat and guide that along that way. Does that work with everyone? Can we
Fine.
fine with that.
burn things?
I'll go with
I
it.
think that might work.
Okay. Fantastic.
I mean, I can't guarantee it, but
It's better
Just
than lighting
hurry up.
shit on fire and using a foil paper boat.
Let's go with the nerd here and let's keep going.
Let's go with the
Fantastic.
nerd. Okay, so the nerd
nerd.
says that you should head back and grab some supplies from the crashed ship. So you head back up. What kind of supplies are you going to try and get hold of?
We have food. I don't know how we're doing on water or anything like that.
Well, we got the water supplies that I brought over. We got the food supplies that I brought over. The solar panel, the small comms setup, and also I'll grab
I
all
still
that.
have my nav beacon, correct?
Yep, you do.
Okay, so and I don't know how much like weaponry we have, but I still have my weapon and
Yeah,
don't know
I
how
have
many
a
bullets
I have a
but
rifle and a handgun. Let's get spare clothes. Let's get a couple spare suits and
that seems
sets of
good.
clothes from
Reasonable.
wherever we can.
What about anything to make in case we don't get to our destination? We want to make a tent, anything like that? Any kind of like
Yeah, let's grab some bed sheets if we can. I assume there would be sleeping quarters. Let's grab as many bed sheets as we can, as well as if there's broken. Okay, question: were the beds like regular? Were they bunk beds? What were the beds like? Because I'm picturing like a aliens style bunk bed sort of thing, where in the event of a crash, you would find pieces of piping strewn about.
You could find like piping and like T-bar and I-bar and things like that.
Alrighty, I will grab probably about 20 pounds of piping, all roughly 6 foot lengths if possible. 8 to 10 bed sheets and an assortment of pillows.
okay? I don't.
Hey, comfort. Comfort
Do
does.
they not
make
have
a big
sleeping
difference.
bags, like emergency supplies like that, aid kits and bandages,
Yeah, like
stuff that
all
we need
that
like
shit. I
that?
assume.
What are you
You've
searching
already
for?
got-
I want like medical supplies, things like that in case anyone gets more injured than they already are and refuse to let me treat them. And that way we have that kind of stocked up. Just thinking of the worst situation. That's what I'd like to look for.
Would these,
Okay.
Abuse, really.
would these craft have self-inflating boats? Like an aircraft. Like, why wouldn't they if they're called a ship?
Because
you
they're
don't need a
designed-
boat in space.
and they're designed to land on a planet, and then they all group together and make a colony.
Do not stand the
Probably
crash, and
don't.
then everyone. Yeah.
They have okay, so that would be cool. I could see where you're going with that.
Well, I'm just thinking,
Okay.
how big of idiots were we to try to make a boat when we if we had a boat?
It's so tempting to say that there's like suitcase-sized life rafts, but no. It's
Thank
so
you.
tempting to say like there's a whole rack of suitcase-sized life rafts in the escape section.
I knew it.
But
Alright.
so you guys head back up to the ship and you start digging through the ship and pulling out supplies, taking supplies from the piles of supplies that people have piled up next to the ship. Big guy wearing an engineering suit, which is a kind of reinforced spacesuit with some servos that provide enhanced strength and enhanced movement. He kind
what
of
is?
Wow.
He's got them Popeye arms.
All right.
there's a huge amount of hydraulics in the gloves of the suit that are designed to allow him to basically stick his hand into something and spread his fingers to basically break things apart.
We never noticed this guy.
This guy's been working on the colony.
Hmm.
This guy's been working on the colony, so he's been one of the guys taking things out of the ship, which is one of the main uses that he has with his augmented suit. He kind of like looks over at you guys and he's like, "Where are you taking that?"
None of your business.
I really
Well-
want to kill him and take his suit, but it's.
I don't know if I want to fight this guy.
Well,
But I
considering those are supplies and we're stuck here, kind of is my business.
I don't
I
think we
say
should fight him.
It's
Obviously.
not your business.
You're starting to draw a little bit of a crowd. There are several people now looking because he's certainly raising his voice.
All
when he
right.
goes.
I am part of that crowd. I didn't go in the ship with those guys. I didn't take it.
I was inside the ship I'm taking blankets and stuff. I'm not saying shit. I'm just running with blankets. I'm not saying it. I'm just running with blankets and pillows and piping. I don't give a shit.
All right. Before he gets any more annoyed, tell him, I just want to take you to the side for a minute and talk to you. I don't want a whole
Okay.
crowd watching me. So I'll be like, all right, come here real quick. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you
Okay,
what's
so-
going on.
He comes over and he's a little bit close now. Quieter voices. Several people are still very interested in what's going on, but
I look over and smile at them and wave.
Nice.
It's like everything's fine. And then, oh god.
carry on.
Okay. This is the part where I try to decide if I want to try to. I think he has a lot of use with the suit. Maybe he's not a jerk. Maybe there will be a point bringing him along.
But the suit could be a lot of use on you.
True. But that's why I'm including him in the plan. I tell him what we're doing so that he comes along and uses the suit with us rather than against me.
So, what is the plan other than just leaving?
Other than just
Wait.
leaving, trying to reconnect with everybody else and get off the planet. Trying to find
Yeah.
another ship. Some kind of craft that can get us off the planet.
Get away
So-
from the den of the shellfish
Yeah.
things.
The shellants.
I
The
accept.
shell monsters.
Shellant. Sorry.
Damn it.
What was I doing, Pink Panther?
Yeah.
Shellan.
Um,
Shellan. Shellan.
that's
Shellan.
good, that's a good idea.
Shellan.
Shellant.
Anyway.
Plus, my thought line is if we get him alone with the rest of us, and we need to take care of him,
Then 50 will be able to have a sex scene with him.
then we
No.
can take care of him.
I am not taking care of him in that way.
He can't wear that suit all the time.
That's
I
true.
wouldn't
Clearly.
Yeah, so he'd have to come out of it, then we can take care of him. If
Okay,
we
so-
need to.
So,
Listen, I don't think we should have some backstabbing in this thing since we're all trying to get out.
I'm not saying we
This
need to, but
place-
I don't know this guy's motive, and he looks like a small guy. Let's be honest here. He looks like a jerk.
He got a tiny
What,
head.
just because the guy has a stupid haircut that automatically makes him.
Sorry.
He's got a scar on his face, which means he's been in battles, or at least to me, he looks like he's rugged. He doesn't look like he wants to deal with people.
He's got a douche cut on as
Yeah.
well. I mean,
So my goal
Just
is
because someone has a douche cut that automatically
because
makes him a
he
douche
has
bag?
self-benefit, he'll want to come with us.
okay, so he kind of, you and him have a conversation. He kind of understands where you're coming from. The idea of meeting up with the other people, like, it's sort of getting off the planet. That seems to be a good idea because you're not supposed to be on this planet. Like, rescue's not coming, but
Right.
seems like a good idea.
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, he can see that makes sense.
All right. So then we need to finish gathering our supplies. He can help me, and then we'll head back to where we're meeting up.
Okay. So you guys gather supplies and you head off down back to the river. Start loading up the boat. So you've now got a boat full of a reasonable amount of supplies and a big expanse of several kilometers of open plains land headed down towards a big ocean. So what would you guys like to do?
I'd say we. I'm not on the boat, by the way. I'm not getting on that thing.
No,
That is
nobody's
like a
nobody's in the boat.
tinfoil
Nobody's on
death
it.
trap right there.
Nobody's
I say
in the boat
because-
justifies.
He has what it appears to be like, because we're tying this to somebody, right? So it's like at a point where it's not gonna.
Yeah,
So we should tie it to him because he has a suit that
Yeah.
already helps. Like
he looks like he's got good stability. Yeah,
I
You
can
look
also
heavy.
carry some
Let's
stuff,
tie
too.
stuff to you.
I mean,
Nice.
isn't that what they say to you? Sorry, sorry, dude. I had to. I love you.
Guys, a note. I can carry stuff too. By the way,
Yeah.
so. Well,
I'm sorry.
it's not that. I just rather make this guy the pack mule than you. But if you want to be the mule, then we can.
well, I mean, I'm not really
you
gonna be a
instead.
mule, but I'm gonna help him out a little bit. You know.
Why?
You can hold his hand while we walk down the river. If you.
Listen, I think it's best that we get on the good sides of these people in order for all of us to get off this planet.
This
'Cause, you
guy,
know,
I don't trust.
Chances are there's going to be like, as soon as we build like a sufficient ship or something, and then it can only fit like 3 people, and it's gonna be like some weird, I don't know. Either if we get on everyone's bad side, we're the first to die, and
That's
we're not
not
gonna
true.
get. Well, it's not
This guy-
necessarily true. My character is a pessimist. Realize this.
True.
Think.
Well,
I think it'd be best to get on the good sides of everybody before we
Okay.
start a massacre or anything.
it's just one guy though. It's not like we're killing a bunch of people.
Yeah,
He's just
one
the
guy
only
with
guy.
power armor.
Yeah, we're on this good side right now though.
Let's
Plus,
just
let's
continue
be
walking
honest,
down the
one-
river for a little bit.
Yeah,
I think we just
yeah.
explore. Yeah.
but basically you're headed off down the river with this guy tethered to the boat. The boat's sort of traveling ahead of you because the river's quite fast, but you're just sort of walking down the river. And basically Kurt and Damien are at the back, sort of slightly out of earshot, just having a conversation about how, like, we should stay on people's good sides. We're going to kill him anyway, it doesn't matter.
I would like to chit chat with him and get to know his name.
Okay.
Some background story.
Well, before we do a nice love scene with this guy, that's another 30 minutes in. I think we should pause and then come on back. Who knows? Maybe he'll get on a bro date like Nets did.
Oh, the bro date. All the bro
Maybe he'll
dates.
get on a full-on date like I did.